What up, everybody? It is I, J Smooth, coming at you with a Lit Media presentation. Yes, Lit Media is going to be the news and movie review, TV show review, music review arm of Lit Gaming. Lit Media, encompasses all of film, television, music, gaming, and any other media medium that I feel like I want to report on. And this is what these lit media presentations will be about. So today we're talking about Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, Episode 5. I'm sorry, Season 5, Episode 4. And wow, I mean, the train is on that track. It's been on the track since Episode 1. If you've been watching Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, Season 5, which is the final season, by the way, it has been non-stop belt to ass. First episode, we lost it. Uncle Lou, my favorite uncle. Second episode, Unique left. Unique left. Thought I'd never see it, but Unique said, you know what? I'm gonna go on and say this. Because even though this is for episode 4, I'm gonna give, since I haven't done these for any of the other episodes, I'm gonna go ahead and give my thoughts, brief thoughts on everything that happened. So, episode 1, Uncle Lou died. Sad loss. My God, my favorite character in the whole episode because of the music thing, and I was really feeling that angle. Episode 2, Unique said, you know what? I love my son. I love my lady. She stuck with me through all of this shit that I'm put her through, with them thinking I was dead. I'm out. Respect. He did a real man thing. Sometimes being gangster ain't worth it. And if you didn't learn anything else from the Power universe, sometimes it's time to pack your bag and move around. And that's what Unique did. And hats off to him because he chose his family over the streets. And that's how it's supposed to be. Let that be a lesson, homies. And then episode 3, my God. Kanan takes Unique's blocks. Uh, Rock sets up her operation with Flossie and the girls. Um, Rock decides to shoot up Kanan's block. Um, and they stop it right there. But then there's this growing beef between Kanan and Taz. All right, we got episode 4. Episode 4 just dropped yesterday on the 3rd, July 3rd. And this is going to be 10 episodes. Now, episode 4 is come and gone. We still haven't seen Tommy or Ghost. I'm gonna say either if episode 5 or 6, we get Tommy and Ghost, and I don't think they're gonna give us a whole lot of Tommy and Ghost. I think they're just gonna give us a brief glimpse of their start under Kanan. Breeze dies. I don't know if he's gonna die before the end of this season. I would think he would, probably episode 9 or 10. Who knows? We don't know yet. We know from the OG Power that Kanan reminded Ghost, remember you killed Breeze right here in this room. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know, but we haven't seen them yet. But if they're going to introduce them, it's about time. Episode 5 is next week, so when are they going to pop out? That's the real question. But that's not the big deal because the characters that we have are great. It's just that we know Tommy and Ghost came up under Kanan. Kanan taught them everything they know, and so this is the last season of Raising Kanan. So what's going to happen is what I want to know. But anyway, so the Taz and Kanan beef that started in episode 3, or maybe it was episode 2, came to a head this episode. See, at the end of the last episode, Taz was talking crap to Kanan while he was counting his money, but Kanan was never shook. Kanan just let him talk his mouth, but he was never shook. He was like, did it make me lose count? Like he was counting his money and not even ignored him for the most part, which is hilarious because it's like he took 50 Cent's mannerisms and perfected them as a young 50 Cent or young Kanan. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. But This episode, he confronts Kanan on the block in front of everybody. And Kanan don't back down, but he don't like get rah-rah with him. He just let him say his piece and let him roll out. And I'm like, yeah, I already knew what was gonna happen. I'm like, Kanan gonna kill that fool. So when Breeze told Kanan, yo, Taz was short, I already knew what was gonna happen. Didn't know how it was gonna happen, but I knew it was gonna happen. And then my suspicions were confirmed when Kanan rolled up to that fool in all black to go see him. So I'm like, oh yeah, Kanan's gonna kill this fool. I just knew that was gonna happen. But I mean, we already knew what that was gonna be. Taz wasn't no story that was to be told. He was just a character to show Kanan's resolve or whatever, see how Kanan operates or whatever. Um, so him killing him wasn't surprising. What was crazy was him and Breeze bonding over cutting his ass up, and then Breeze dropping the bomb that DEFCON was my dad. That mean we brothers. And if you know the story about DEFCON, you know that's not possible. I mean, it's sort of possible, but we all know DEFCON was gay, and he was fronting with Kanan's mom. Kanan's mom knew that DEFCON was gay. I believe she did at least. Um, and we know that who Kanan's father really was. Who Kanan killed in the season finale.
Real quick, my bad, y'all. I got it wrong. I misremembered. Rock killed Detective Howard, Kanan's real dad, and Kanan killed Ronnie for trying to kill his mother in season 3. Wild times. I'm crazy sometimes. I can't believe I forgot that. Anyway, back to the video.
Season 3. So yeah, popped his top, real proper life. And then Neek came back from the dead. And Kanan was like, I ain't never seen a nigga come back from the dead. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent be killing me the way he be doing his narration of the show, but he be giving you some real spill. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at it. But so yeah, so they dissecting people, but we know how ruthless Kanan is in the OG Power universe. I mean, God, he killed his own son for being soft. So this proves where he got all of that from. And he wasn't scared to get his hands dirty. He didn't really flinch. He was like, "This nigga is ill." I'm like, "Okay." He told that boy, "Say, man, I don't need no tests. I already graduated." I love that. He was like, "Yeah, I was testing you." Breeze was like, "Yeah, man, I was testing you." Kenny was like, "I don't need no tests. I already graduated." Grabbed the freaking drill and started cutting that food too. I was like, damn, they sliced this dude up with a freaking industrial weapon or industrial tool. What was that, a sawzall or whatever it was? At least that's what my pops used to call it. But yeah, cut that boy with a sawzall. He's like, now if you cut here, you can cut here and get through easy because that's where the joint is. You like, he done did this before. But yeah, so I mean, shoot. Once again, Raquel messed all the way up. Like, how did you think? And Marvin even knew it was a bad idea. And he was like, fuck it, call Memphis. And when I seen who Memphis was, I said, yeah, this don't even look like it's gonna go. Like, I don't even see them rednecks running there on them Italians like that. And in the tradition of racist rednecks, they did exactly what I thought they were gonna do. Tried to backdoor her to their own period. So the big homie with the cowboy hat thought he was gonna get double the pay or triple the pay for the job. Cause Marvin already told him, hey man, I know y'all professional, but you know, when y'all go up in there, if he don't end up dead, y'all ain't gonna make it back to Tennessee. And I don't know if they felt threatened by that, but I think, when they realized they were working for some black folks, I just feel like they wasn't gonna kill another white man for them, even if they are Italian, because rednecks or, you know, white Americans look down on all other classes of whites, and a lot of them have only become white in the last 20 or 30 years. Well, at this point, 30 or 40 years. So do that with what you will. I think the big homie went in there and told, and he said, "Hey man, she want to kill you. She paid me this amount of money. Oh, thank you. Here, I'll double it. Kill your boys and come see me when you're done." Yeah, if he was really being honest with him or being up, why did he have to kill his compadres? Did he think his homies wasn't gonna turn on her too? Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they were playing it straight and he wasn't. Who knows? But when he popped both their top and walked up in there like he was finna get double the money, I'm like, yeah. When he said, "Yeah, we got a car waiting for you," I was like, "Oh yeah, they got a bullet waiting for him." That's exactly what happened. He opened that door and saw it was a fence in front of the, thought it was a street, but it was a fence, and just like I thought, popped his top. And he did the gangster thing to do. He sent the hat to the lady and through Messenger. That was real gangster. So next episode the shit finna hit the fan. That's just what's finna happen. Now, will this mess up her operation in Manhattan because she tried to have a mob boss taken out? No, they hired those men so their hands could stay clean. Obviously, that didn't happen. So we already know that he gonna have a talk with Kanan saying, "Hey, your mom tried to kill me." He say, "Hey, man, do what you got to do." So I don't think he gonna kill his mama though. I think his mama gonna kill him. I think she's gonna be successful the next time. Raquel is a soldier, and she ain't no bitch. And she is so eloquent in her gangsterism. That meeting between her and Breeze, I love that conversation. That was so nice. It reminded me sort of the conversation she had with Unique in season one when they met I think they met at the Statue of Liberty, if I'm remembering correctly, and they had a little conversation. But Unique was a little aggressive with her when he was talking to, but Breeze wasn't really aggressive. He was like, most niggas just want money and pussy. So when a lady's in the game, I don't know what they thinking. That whole conversation was cool or whatever. I understand where he was coming from, but he's like, if I don't know what they thinking, I'm like, what do they want? And she corrected him. Yeah, I don't think about pussy. I think about money. That's it. And in regards to Raquel, that's all she think about: money and how to get more. You gotta love it. And whoever her stylist is for this era is doing a bang up job. I'm talking about, bruh. Raquel be dressed to the nines in every frame. Raquel is fly, and she got all the baller accessories from the '90s. I mean, good God, it's amazing. But let's talk about Uncle Marvin. Uncle Marvin been checking people this season, and I've been loving it. You know, he had to check Kanan last episode about how he'll never work for him. Kanan was kind of silly to offer his uncle a job anyway, but Kanan kind of feeling himself, so it was funny. He was like, "All right, stay up then, gangster." That was funny. But this episode, he had to check Rock when she was telling him about his relationship with Flossie, and he was like, "Yo, me and Flossie are friends. That's about it. But yo, I'm a grown man." And just like Tony Danza's character, who sometimes I can't just remember the name, but Tony Danza's character, the mob boss, he said, he did that to try to break us up. But what he don't understand is I'll never try to take over, over from under you or whatever. I'll not never try to be your successor. I'm loyal. That's what you don't understand and what you haven't realized. So can't nobody come between us like that. So he had to get her mind right and check her a little bit, let her know like, hey, I'm gonna have a conversation with whoever I want, you know, because in Marvin's defense, he thought the bitch was trying to fuck him. Real spill. He thought Flossie was trying to fuck him, and once he realized she wasn't, and was just really trying to feel him out a little bit, they kind of had a a drink and had a good conversation, and which is was kind of weird, but I think that was a part of Marvin's journey because Marvin is talking to the preacher. He's hurting real bad about his losing his brother. The preacher invited him to church. I like the preacher in this episode because they didn't overdo it. They didn't churchify it too much. He had a real conversation. Like if you've ever been to church and talked to a preacher, like a good preacher, not one of them other ones, they gonna try to give you advice. I'm not a religious person. I grew up in the church, but and I did have one youth pastor that really got through to me by telling me his story and how he got out of the streets and why he do what he do now. So shout out to Reverend Perry. I'll never forget you, my brother. We had some good conversation, and that's basically what I saw here in this episode. And yeah, real spill. And he invited him to church, but he didn't like throw that little extra nonsense on, like brother and the Lord. And he was real. He had a real conversation with Uncle Marvin. Uncle Marvin, in my opinion, if he doesn't get killed, he's probably gonna leave the streets and like try to get saved or something. That does happen. That has happened. Many people have who were killers and drug dealers and done all kinds of foul stuff have turned their life over to God and got out of the streets. And that's cool. If it makes you a better person, I'm cool with it. It's just that a lot of the rhetoric and a lot of the divide and a lot of the false images that they do with specifically in Christianity, um, and me growing up in the church and having family members that are pastors and stuff like that, and then learning real history and now this is what actually happened. This is why this is this. This is where this comes from. It for me, it's too many. It's too many cut and pastes and glue sticks and shit in a picture to say, oh, this is the truth and this is the story and all this and that. So I believe in God or whatever, but as far as being a religious person and going to church and all that, I don't do it. You know, consider it time served and I'm free from it. But other than that, Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, Season 5, Episode 4. Once again, that train is rolling full steam ahead. And even though we haven't seen Ghost and Tommy yet, I ain't tripping because I think we're probably going to get 2 or 3 episodes with them max anyway because we already know what they turned into. We don't really need to see them as young people. This is really Canaan's story anyway and how he gets to where he got. So will they show him going to jail? Will they show Tasha calling the police on him? We don't know. I don't know. We know that happened. Will they show it? Maybe, maybe not. I think they're gonna imply it. They're probably gonna show Breeze, Tommy. I'm not Tommy. They're probably gonna show young Ghost killing Breeze, and then that'll probably be the end. My real question is, will Kanan find out what Snaps and Pops did to his girl and how they're the ones who had those dirty cops kidnap her and take her to that abandoned building apartment, and will he find out that Snaps killed him? That's what I want to know. So yeah, will he find that out? Is that what makes him kill Breeze too? Because if you come from them and knowing what I know about my dad, knowing that we really not stepbrothers, what's gonna happen? How did that happen? So the pieces are slowly coming together. I'm loving the storytelling. I'm loving the direction. I'm loving everything about the last season of Raising Canaan. So I guess we'll have to see what happens next week. The jig is up. Rock is found out, even though she tried to be sneaky about it, which I ain't mad at that because old dude is acting silly anyway. Um, you know, I guess we'll see. So once again, Lit Media is the media arm of Lit Gaming. Lit Gaming will be mostly just game videos and game reviews. I won't even do Are They Lit Though? though, under the Lit Media banner, it'll only be movie and TV reviews and possibly some book and music reviews. So just to let you know. But yeah, are you watching Raising Canaan, Power Book 3, Raising Canaan? Are you? Let me know what you think. Um, Once again, I salute 50 Cent for this series because it gives a real depiction of that grimy 90s era. You know, we remember the shiny shit from the 90s, but we really don't be remembering the grimy shit from the 90s. And this does a great job of being shiny and grimy. Like, 'cause let's be for real. Everybody's shining, everybody's dope dealers, everybody's killers, so they all got money. But it's still a grimy business, and they don't shy from it. They don't sugarcoat it, and I love that about this series. Like I said, Power Book 3, Raising Canaan is my favorite spinoff um, from the OG Power universe, even over Ghost Book 2, even though Book 2 is really like the continuation of OG because it's the OG universe. Book 4, of course, is technically 2, but it's telling Tommy's story. Book 4 is the weakest one in my opinion. It's gangsters, grimy. It's not my favorite. Um, Raising Canaan, Book 3, Raising Canaan is. But all of the shows are great. All the shows are done well. They have great storylines. They don't feel like none of it really felt like filler. So that's what I do like about the whole Power series. Now you're gonna have people that like and dislike certain spinoffs based on personal preference. Hey, it is what it is. Tomato, tomato. Some like different strokes for different folks. Some like Pepsi, some like Coke. Some like cherry Pepsi, some like cherry Coke, some like RC Cola. You already know what it is. So that's just what it is. But other than that, this has been Jay Smooth signing off for Lit Media under Lit Gaming. And remember, shut up and PTFO. We'll see you next week for the next episode of Power, Book 3, Raising Canaan, as it continues with the final season, which is season 5. Remember, Jay Smooth signing off for Lit Media, reminding every one of y'all to shut up and PTFO.